And Ready Wammo Breakfast.
A little something for the weekend with Sam Hunt.
Yes, he's been overseas and he's back. Back just in time to chat with us this morning. Sam Hunt, good morning.
Good day, Wammo. Just enjoyed hearing that last bit of David and his brother.
It's great, isn't it?
I just had an email from David. He just played in Brixton. This was a couple of days ago.
Oh, he's over there.
Yeah, and then they go to Europe.
Right.
So he's been in New York. They had went really well. So I'm not sounding like the fan club, aren't I? But it's just, well, I am a fan club.
Hey, you're in the band.
I am in the band. I'm the bloody lead singer of the new album.
That's right.
That's me. You can't count me out.
Yeah.
And I get to travel business class, whereas the rest travel economy.
And so they should.
No, I wouldn't have that. Actually, speaking of that, so after I spoke to you last week in Chicago, I had a great time down, blessed with beautiful, bloody lovely audiences, actually. I love those Southland people. And that's not as a generalisation, but by God, it's borne out. And then I flew over to Sydney and worked hard then. The venue in Sydney, owned by a New Zealand fellow who's a musician, who's also does other work, and he's got the Phil Hall, if anyone knows him, from Hamilton, Melville, originally, Melville. That's where they had their first band back in the early 70s.
Yeah.
Anyway, he and his wife and family bought the old big Salvation Army Citadel, and they live there. It's beautiful, huge thing. And they've got a big live venue there, which is where I played on Saturday night. And it's a great venue.
Yeah.
Caught up with a lot of old friends. And one thing I discovered when I was going to tell you about, I was coming back, when I came back on Sunday to New Zealand from Sydney to Auckland, I was travelling on the Argentinian airline.
Yeah,
they're beautiful.
Oh, they are.
Look, even when they tell you how to put your seatbelt on, it sounds like a Pablo Neruda poem.
Fantastic,
hey?
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I had this woman, I was in business class, I said about the only person there, the rest were down the back, literally. I couldn't help it.
Down the back with the chickens in the cages.
And the loud children, that's right. The loud children. But I discovered, because they ply you with good Argentinian wine.
Yeah, it is good.
And beautiful, well looked after. And of course, when I was in the lounge in Sydney waiting to get on the plane, I was being offered a champagne and then another champagne. This was only about 8 o'clock in the morning. And so by 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm thinking, oh, shit, yeah. Anyway, then I get on the plane, which is this Argentinian airline, which continues on when it dropped me off in Auckland. It continues to fly across the Pacific and then over the Andes.
Were you tempted to stay on?
I was almost kept there. We're having a great time. No, it was really good. It was just wonderful, actually. I just loved it. This hostess, she was quoting Neruda poems to me.
Oh.
Yeah, in Spanish. Quoting, and then when I actually happened to have a book of Neruda, and then she got that out. Well, we had a great time. Another champagne. What I was going to say was, if you travel, I've come up with a phrase which is "fly east, stay sober." If you're flying east as I was on Sunday and you're drinking, and you see, I was worried because at midday, I thought, my God, I'm pissed and it's only midday.
Yeah.
But then she said, first in Spanish and then in English, you now put your clocks 2 hours forward.
Yeah, right.
And so suddenly, just like that, it wasn't so bad. It was 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Perfect time.
So if you did that fast enough, now this is where Einstein comes into it. If you do that fast enough, you'd actually drink yourself sober. You had to travel east really fast, and you could drink. And the more you drank, well, that's what happened to me.
There's a danger there though, because you could go right from just starting drinking to immediately having a hangover, and skip the in between bit.
I like it. Anyway, it was. Well, yeah. I'm listening to what you're saying, and I think it's. But I just wanted to try the idea out, really, because when I got off the plane in Auckland on Sunday afternoon, and my God, flying in there, they talk about the Aotearoa, the land of the long white cloud. It was all there, absolutely amazing. And we had to loop round, filling in a bit of time. I think the pilot was probably pissed too. But when I got off the plane, I was talking, to show how sober I was, I had to walk that blue and white line to the domestic terminal from the international. And I did it with one hand on the trolley. So and then just to add to things, I ran into a detective, Graham Bell, at the domestic airport, and we were chatting about things.
Yeah.
And I reckon he would have thought I was pretty sober.
Yep.
Yeah. And that was after. I want to tell you a poem by a man who's become a friend of mine. His name's Richard Frizzell, or Dick Frizzell.
Oh, yes.
Dick Frizzell.
I just gave away a poster from his son, Otis Frizzell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very talented boys, Josh, and yeah. Well, this is one about not his boys. This is one by Dick.
Yep.
Because we're doing some work together at the moment.
Oh, great.
Dick Frizzell and I, and he sent me a couple of poems, both of which I love. They're both about his father. So if I may tell you this one, it's called Richard Ernest Frizzell, Merchant Sailor, by Dick Frizzell. As he boozily snored by the kitchen coal range, my dad, Dick, told me tales tall and short about his days in the New Zealand Merchant Navy. Rode a razor-backed hack through Fijian fields in the moonlight on a shortcut back to his ship. Hunted for bears out of Vancouver, shot a couple, big teeth, big claws. Met a couple of hipsters in San Francisco who lived in the crate their Cadillac convertible came in. Bounced all night in bed with a girlfriend in Sydney and found the contraceptive pester in the sheets in the morning. She got pregnant, let Dad off the hook by blaming the taxi driver for a mossman. Told me to stay away from bosuns. Said he was on a Pacific convoy of merchant ships and heard from below decks in his engine room that the ship in front and the one at the back had been torpedoed. Met Mum in Auckland, decided to marry her when she didn't complain that her best hat got wet after he miscalculated the weather on a walk through the domain. Wanted to be buried in Tahiti. It never happened. His ashes are on a concrete niche in the Hastings Cemetery on top of Mum's, where he said he should be. So that's one from Dick Frizzell.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you like that?
Yeah, I do. I like that lots.
That's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I'd like to say a little poem in response to it. A poem I've always loved. I haven't seen it written down, so if any experts out there, the poet is Theodore Roitke, and I think the poem's called My Papa's Dance. But it's just a lovely little response to I think, to Dick's poem there. My Papa's Dance. Well, how the hell does it go? Da 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 da. The whiskey. I think the whiskey on your breath could make a small boy dizzy, but I hung on like death. Such waltzing was not easy. We romped until the pan slid from the kitchen shelf. My mother's countenance could not unfrown itself. The hand that held my wrist was battered on one knuckle. At every step you missed, my right ear scraped a buckle. You beat time on my head with a palm caked hard with dirt, then waltzed me off to bed, still clinging to your shirt.
That's one for Father's Day, whenever that is.
Well, that's right. It's been Mother's Day. It must be the father's chance of a comeback. You know?
Well, that's right. It was funny. Well, so it was Mother's Day on Sunday, but I spent the day with my dad.
Right.
And my grandma.
So it was Mother's Day on Sunday, was it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I think he said piously. I was going to say every day is Mother's Day. I certainly my mother died in 2004. You know, and she constantly sort of hauls me up, like, you know, say I'm a bit drunk too early in the day or something like that.
Yeah.
I get a little telling off.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it does a lot of good, you know?
Yeah.
We like to think so. What's happening this weekend?
This weekend, that's a good. Well, so my girlfriend's parents are coming this weekend, so it's kind of like the passing the baton. Good. Well, that's good. Well, look, it's good to talk to you. It was bloody lovely, as I say, flying back to New Zealand on Sunday, late afternoon. And then get back up onto the Kaipara later that night up here on the Kaipara, and of course the rains have come now, and as I'm talking to you, you can see the paddocks that had the maize and which have now been sort of disked and seeded, and so on. You know, the first blush of green. Yeah. Oh, nice.
And
it's a good time.
We'll have a whole lot of young, what do we call them? Those young cattle beasts, the weaners, the little ones.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, we'll have some, I don't know what we're there.
I don't know.
It's a good time of the year.
We may have a whole lot of marijuana plants. I haven't really worked it out. They say grow garlic at this time of year, don't they? Or a bit later.
Shortest day.
The shortest day, the year's shortest day.
June.
The winter solstice.
That's right.
Yeah. I'll just finish with a line. A mad winter's risen, the bull seals bark at the moon. I have a knee-high son, you a grandchild soon. My chance to wish you cheers, with many good miles to go. Here's rainbows, whiskey tears, a promise of snow.
That's something for the weekend.
Good one. See you, Wammo.
See you, Sam.
Good.
That was a little something for the weekend with Sam Hunt, only on Kiwi FM.